welcome back to Wooden Ladder. This is officially episode 4, which is our October review. Maybe it's a bit long since I've made a video, but there's been a lot going on, and we started off the month kind of a bit low, tired, and I'm laughing because I just realized that I recorded most of the video, or I got through most of this episode and hadn't hit record. So isn't that just serendipitous and a good, I don't know, kind of what we've been doing is moving things around, and sometimes it just feels like you're spinning your wheels and you just got to start over again. But here we are. So I'm Sam. Joe is kind of the star of the show. I'm just the person that documents it. If you haven't already liked, shared, and subscribed, hit that little bell button to follow us along on this big epic journey. You can see where we came from, and we have a vision. We're both in our 60s, and we are most definitely not downsizing and retiring and being unproductive. We started a new business, a home and garden network, and we are designing and building our new home on this property. In the meantime, we are living in this trailer with my beautiful blanket curtains. And there was a time where I actually really cared about how everything looked. And right now, I'm going to start this video off. I organized it kind of into categories of things that happened throughout the month. And I'm sitting here in my hoodie, and Joe's outside, so you might hear some saw noise. But what's really important for us right now is just being authentic and being real and connecting with each other and connecting with other people and just connecting with our surroundings and our family. And so I hope you connect with us, because this is we're fulfilling a lifelong dream, a lifelong journey, and we thought it was important enough for us to document for our records and to share it. And so hopefully you find some inspiration in our foibles. I'm going to share my screen, and the recording is still going to continue, I'm sure. So share. There we go. Come back. Life is real, and it's not perfect. And sometimes what we see online, not sometimes, we are fed images and messages, and that's what we think is real. And one of the things that this has taught us is that what is real is this, like life, just being. So yeah, I'm here in my hoodie, like I said, at least I think I just said that there was a time that it really mattered to me how I looked and what people thought of how I looked. And I love getting dressed up, and I really feel good when I'm there. But I also am appreciating how good it feels to just be. And so I finally dug out my nice snuggle hoodie today, and it has been raining off and on all day, and I've been working on this video. And so here I am, just being real. And here we are, just being real with our family, because to be honest, this was a pretty difficult month. We were settling into the reality of not having our home and everything that was comfortable and familiar. And we were in this new place. And while we're very excited about that, it's a shift, everything about it. And we were tired, no doubt about it. So it was family that was the catalyst for us to move. And it is family that has been the catalyst to help keep us grounded and to remind us constantly. And so I'm going to start this episode off with the anchoring of family and just how important that is. And certainly in our life, just every moment we get, we treasure that with this new life of our grandson mirroring and following along with the new life that we're living here. It's just perfect, this beautiful little being that just brings so much joy and takes so much attention. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's where do you put your focus? We put our focus on the new life. We put our focus on the relationships. And it's easy to get caught up in the muck and the mire, and to have something that inspires you and to pulls you forward. Like, just look at those eyes. Hi, here we are. But at the beginning of the month, Joe and I were tired, and we just really couldn't get ourselves motivated to do anything. There was a lot of stuff that needed to be done. And we turned on a series called Schitt's Creek. It's a Canadian series, a comedy. I don't know how many episodes it runs, but we would watch it outside the end of the day. We'd have a glass of wine, and we were kind of into wine and cheesies and just zoning out. And one night, a slug started crawling across the screen. So I captured the picture of the slug while Joe was running to get something to pull it off. Um, I was taking pictures of the slug, but the faces of the characters in Schitt's Creek also, I think, captured kind of how we were feeling in that moment. And if you don't know the series, Schitt's Creek is about an extremely wealthy family that lost everything and ended up living in a motel in a town called Schitt's Creek, which they had purchased as a joke. And so it's the character development of this family coming together and over a few years in this motel, and it was just the perfect thing at the perfect time, and just their faces as I'm capturing the slug. I think they also kind of captured how we were feeling at the beginning of October, completely shell shocked at what we had done. But coming back to our daughter, our grandson, our family, and just enjoying these moments. She would come over to us because our son-in-law had gone back to work, and or we would go over there and we would just do life. Vacuuming, or we are doing life. I mean, it's not just happening in October. Vacuuming, laundry, cooking, stopping at the grocery store, just whatever, just being together. And it's just been the best watching him watching him grow and becoming more alert, and watching her as a mom just melts our hearts. It just sparkles our hearts, as it's like to say, strengthens our heart, really is the big key there. Midway through the month, just before my birthday, my dad and stepmom came over, and we had 4 generations together. That was incredibly special because family is longevity. And there's been so much separation, so many families, and ours is one of them. We would have been 5 hours away from our family. The rest of our family is on the island, and it's still a ferry ride away, but so much fun. My dad's always joking, and so here he is with a hammer teaching our grandson how to be a carpenter when he's 6 weeks old. Very, very, very special time of relaxing in the middle of the chaos and getting anchored and getting outside and just being together. Watching him grow, he's so strong when he lifts his head up really, really early. And the kids have been able to take him out and about and um, traveling around, which is a good thing because this month he got a really interesting opportunity to do a modeling shoot. And I also got a Facebook memory of 12 years ago was our daughter's very first modeling shoot. And I went with her to her shoots. And so this was really, really special to be able to go on this shoot with her and our grandson. And my heart was just overflowing. Best birthday present is to see the the beauty and the the manufacturer of nice, good quality, natural baby clothes, and such lovely people. But back home in the chaos, it wasn't all magazine life. It was this. Lots of buckets, lots of rain, lots of mud.
Maybe we've moved onto a lake. Joe's ditches. Say hello.
My initial water management. Ditches, holes, and I poked a hole from this hole to that hole, and it was going out a vole hole right down there, but now it's going up my siphon. Nice. And you can see how fast it's working. She's working good, although it has stopped raining right now. We'll see when it starts raining. I got 2 siphons going, and they are working. Just got to clear that out. This is the first one. It's also working.
These went a long way, these type siphons.
This is my siphon.
You can kind of see how far they go.
Way up there.
Getting going. Joe was up in the middle of the night many times checking on the water to make sure the tarps were draining properly and the siphons and the pump was working. Yeah, it was a lot of work during this really heavy rain, but it's the whole system seems to work now, so that's definitely positive. Not something we planned on.
I thought I'd see what would happen if I diverted the water from my over there from my old hole into the rock that I found, just to see what happened. Even though it's not going into the catch basin, it's just going to the side of it, but we'll see.
Yeah, the sump pump, most people have one in their basement. We had one in the yard, or have one in the yard for all of this water. And him getting up in the night and making sure that the siphon was working and keeping the sump going. Changed out the pipe here, or the hose. So much water.
Redid the pump with a new hose, and she pumps out real good now, because there's a lot of water coming in there. And the other water's coming in there, running through a vole hole and coming out in this hole. Works out awesome.
Thank you, Bowles.
All right, here we have the tarp, or the water management. Say hello, water manager. I don't know where it starts exactly, but over here, the way the tarp collects the water. And then we go over here. And in there, we've got a sump pump and a siphon, right? Or just the sump? Okay, just the sump.
Show the water.
Show the water. Or the river that comes into that one. Comes from this series of trenches, collecting from the driveway, which is kind of like a lake right now. And that sump takes the water through here, all the way around the back, and puts it into the slough. And we have this series. What was this before? This was like a, what was this?
It was a rock pit.
It was a rock pit that now has got 2 siphons in it.
Which don't work.
Which one works kind of a little bit, I guess. Wow, see how loud it is? Goes all the way through the back, down there and into the slough. And this little trench here goes under the tarp and eventually under the sea can, which leads down into the slough. And over here, we've got the tarp that drips onto this wood. And this puddle happily disappears pretty quickly into the ground, but that keeps it relatively dry. And then this series of carpets so that we can get over to the trailer. But just listen to it. It's so much rain. Wow.
Yeah, wow, is right. So we're ready for the rain now that we've lived through that. Apparently, we've had more rain since we've moved here than we had in Lumbee all of last year. So Joe did a great job with his water management. He's still doing a great job. And just see how fast it filled up and what he had to do to keep us dry
The back
and
side
covered.
of the big tarp. And then this is the coming from the sump pump, which was having troubles keeping up. That's how much is coming out. Going down into the slough.
Crazy. And then there was some emergency work that had to be done.
Bit of an emergency diversion to widen the trench going under the sea can, because the pump can't keep up with all of this.
Yeah. So the rain has slowed down happily. The tarp is still there. We broke this. The wind broke that string at one point. That rope had to be replaced. But you can see. Here's what it looks like in the wind. It's daunting. Hence why we are now motivated to get it down, get everything done to take it down. If you missed the other, when we put it up, this tarp is 30 by 60, which is the same size footprint as the church house on the main floor. It's like wind. Up. There's one more here of the wind. It's a big one. It managed to stay though with some pretty big gusts. But Joe had to get up there and
getting tested.
Yeah, big top getting tested. It was crazy. A lot of
She's
a lot of work. Making sure the rain drained where it was supposed to. The tarp stayed in place. But it did. And it has slowed down. It's raining a lot, but it's slowed down. It's not like it was during that atmospheric river. And so here we are. Some of the other more funner things that got done this month were clearing some of the view. And Joe got his weed whacker out.
That's how you clear a path through the blackberries to get down to the water. This pathway is right down at the very end of the property where the eagles are, and where we brought out a piece of plywood so I can do yoga and stretching and stuff down here. Stay tuned for the...
We have about 11 or 1,200 feet of waterfront, but we can't see it because of the blackberries. So to have these little pockets is just so magnificent. Like, it just, I don't even have words to describe how beautiful it is and how grateful I am that Joe could just get in and do that. And I'm just drawn to this place. And I go and I've been working on healing from my ankle injury that happened a few months ago, beginning of the move. And even in the cold, just go down there.
Now he's going to clear this big patch under this magnificent maple at the back of all of this stuff. The tunnel, the tent, the trailer for the new shelter. It's going to hold church pews and a tractor.
We changed our plans many times on where that new shelter was going to go, and it didn't go there.
He just cleared it so that you can see all the way down in the reflection of the trees. Whoa. So beautiful.
So the shelter never did go in that place, but we have these beautiful peekaboo views now, and it is a beautiful place for healing in so many ways. And I'm sure for years to come that will be a special place for us to go. But
now,
then back
here we
to
go.
real.
This is how strongman moves old, really cool church pews out of one tunnel, one shelter, into the other, while Mama Bear stays out of the way and videos it. Honey, you're pretty amazing. Just for the record, these things weigh a lot. Super cool, solid fur. Okay, out of the way. Woohoo! This is how you do it. How much do you think these things weigh? Let's just go with a lot.
This was moving things from here to there. Seems like make work projects.
Here we come.
Kind of is, but this is how Joe keeps strong and healthy.
Get out of
When
the
I'm doing my
way.
yoga, he's doing moving things around and building.
Oh, honey.
It's how you move things when you're by
And
yourself.
there he is.
You know, just taking a church pew for a walk. Do-de-do.
Come and sit down beside me.
Okay, these things came out of the church house. There's two left. Obviously, they had many more. One of them was near our dining room table as a bench. The other one actually never made it inside. It was out in the portable. But at some point, they will find a home in the outdoor room, inside dining room table again.
Joe's come in. He doesn't realize that I've had to start this video 3 times, so he thinks I'm taking an hour and a half to record it. But here you go. This is how you do it. It was a beautiful day. There's just so much.
I know, now it's recording. There we go. Moving stuff from one shelter to the next.
It's not funny.
It is funny. We can have church in here with the tractors. Woohoo!
And one of the biggest mistakes we made in this move was not filling in with the gravel between the 2 sea cans. And so this was a big project that also had to be done as part of moving things around to get organized. So with the gravel, Joe had to clear the space and then be able to fill in.
Might not seem like much, but one of the biggest mistakes we made was not putting down the gravel between the 2 bins before we came back up with the 26-foot truck, because it meant that we couldn't put stuff that was supposed to be there out of the way. So, woo, your tight squeeze. There's a lot of stuff. He's got to navigate around. Here we go. Covered, and we'll also get covered with that extra 30 by 60 foot tarp so that we can keep, including the tractor and the lawn tractor out here, under cover.
That's not where the tractor ended up being, but in any case.
Just a bit of a tight squeeze, but it should be perfect. Into cupboards so that we can get rid of the boxes, because as you have a box, it gets bigger, and when you take it out, A, you can access it, and B, it fits better. So yeah, this stuff out here is just under the shelter, so it can only be boxes and glass and stuff like that,
And wood boxes and various things.
My machine.
Everything needed at home. You know why Joe's in such good shape. So now we have the space under there, and we got that shelter organized, and the new shelter houses the Kubota and various things. And then the old bin, the original 40-footer with all of our long-term storage, it needed to be repacked. And so that even got done. The orange chairs came out of the shelter and got into the sea can, and that is now closed up tight.
There we go. Even though the tarp wouldn't go up, Kubota is going in, I think. Yay! He's got a home, a new home.
These moments, while they might seem small, they actually are huge, because when you move, when you know where everything is in your home, and it's all organized, and you're it's easy to move around, and you can find your socks, and paper clips is always kind of my story. So having homes for all of these things in this temporary place is a big deal. And while the work continues, Joe's workshop and maintaining the rain, the tarps and the water, all of that is ongoing. It somehow feels a little bit more settled. And
Maybe we'll call this
month
Adventures of Kubota. On this weekend's edition, we begin the trench for the pipe that will carry the water and the upgraded electrical to our little campground over there, that side of the property. So he's cleared some blackberries to make some room, and don't know how long this is going to take, but it's a significantly deep enough ditch. I have upgraded electrical, so we won't keep blowing fuses, and he's already got the pipe for the water. Or know it today. Man, it's just gorgeous right now. Absolutely said that. Yesterday, Joe set up the next shelter, so there's more outdoor stuff in here, which gets us closer to taking down the big tarp in preparation for days that are not going to be quite so chill. Oh, thank you, portable shelters. An hour or so later, a couple feet deep. Not too bad. Maybe it'll get done today.
Yeah, the Kubota adventures. It's really nice to. We were so grateful to have the tractor. It did a lot of snow blowing up in the interior, but now here it's actually doing a lot of digging and getting put to work. But Joe's doing just as much digging, as you can see. So if it's not the water ditches now, it's this big ditch. This was a big project this month.
Here we are. The water pipe is buried. Look. Buried water pipe. As long as we don't end up burying husband. And then, there you go, you heard him. And then the electrical cable. Woohoo! Apparently caution tape has to go on top of the electrical cable before the electrical cable goes on. So I guess it's not happening today, but it's late in the day and it's absolutely gorgeous, so I think it's probably time for a walk or some kind of happy hour or something. Walk to the other side, you can just see how nice it is.
Yeah, he works hard and definitely in good shape. And you can see it all going in and the various work. This all got done in one weekend, which was great to see. Kubota did a lot of work.
And there we have it.
I think
bang down a bit. It's getting dark, but that's the main part of the ditch that will get us some, keep the water from freezing, keep the water flowing, and keep us from blowing.
And get us our washer and dryer and other things hooked up, so we don't have to take that to the kids all the time. So,
alrighty, I guess this is how he's gonna pack it down. Good thinking. Nice.
so
So, to my surprise, I found a catch basin and rock pit about 10 feet away from where I dug my little hole in trenches. So hopefully I can get it back together and save the gravel in this pile, rake it out, put it back in, and that'll save a big headache of where the water's going. They knew the water was going here.
Yeah, somebody else had done water management on the property before. Um, but that became part of the water management system, as you heard earlier. And there it is. Had to come all the way through the compound, but everything had to be moved, and yeah, it made just a little bit of a mess for a few days. Because of course we had to walk through there in order to get into the caravan. But
It's a bit of a mess under the big top right now. He's managed to dig the trench for the water and the electrical. First, say hello, honey.
Hello, honey.
First, we cover the water pipe, then we get rid of the ladybugs, and then add the electrical. And it should take us right here to the corner of the bin. Yay.
No time for a nap this week. Monsoon's coming.
Yeah, I think they call it an atmospheric river, but yeah. You never know it today. It's gorgeous.
and that all got dug in and buried properly with the tape and everything. And the rains did come, and we were now able to enjoy a walk in the rain because there's kind of a system in place now. That was a trip to the river on one end, and the rainbows. We had a double rainbow, just a full rainbow on top of that this month. And we used to get them in Lumbee all the time. And so this was just like a really big wow. After all of that rain and all of that work to see the rainbow, it was so bright. It was just absolutely spectacular, right over the whole property, as you can see, over the compound. And that's what we're calling it, the compound. This picture, it actually was reflected in the slough, but I'm not really sure that you can see it as well, but I tried. Anyways, just beautiful, beautiful. Lasted for a really long time. And you can see here that the multiple layers of this rainbow, just beautiful. So we had the rainbow. After the rain, we had fresh snow on the mountains that we could start to see now. So the seasons are changing. The skies were so beautiful. And of course, the aurora borealis. We walked up to the slough and we were there for quite a long time, snapped way too many pictures, but it was just so beautiful. And many people saw it, and we were just so fortunate after all of that rain to see such beauty and just to be surrounded by such beauty. There's so much work and so much chaos, and at the beginning of the month we were feeling a little bit heavy, but now we were waking up to these beautiful sunrises and these beautiful sunsets, going to sleep at night as things, just enjoying the beauty. Just like the family was is such a great reminder of why we are here. But all around us there was something to be grateful for, and even in the clouds, we live here now, and it's starting to settle in more ways than one.
Go sideways.
Just listen to that. Oh my goodness. There's
There
thousands and thousands. I don't know if you can see it on here. Just listen to it though.
You'll be able to see that.
So those are the geese, and there was many geese. I'm just going to turn it because it's sideways. But the eagles, the geese, the herons, the screech owls, the various animals, it's just all around us, just so beautiful. The ducks, even the cows, and this is it is surreal. It's surreal that we just are having these moments with our family. It's surreal that this is where we live now. And while we loved our home in the interior, this is where we are settling, and it is all very different. And yes, it is all very chaotic, but it is coming together, and it's one day, one moment, one little something or other at a time. Joe's got his little workshop kind of set up out there, so that he can start. He's working on the door to the sea can, so it's the one that we're living in and out of, so it's easier access, and we'll be able to do our laundry and have the fridge and the freezer and the pantry and all, various things in this, they're already in that space, but they're still all over the place. So it's getting there, right? And there was maintenance to do, and we got a load of gravel, some for us and some for the tenants, so that they weren't parking on mud in the winter time. And there's always stuff to do, but throughout this month, it's the beauty, the love, the connections, the rainbows and the sky. There's a rainbow right over the mountains there, because it seems like a mountain if you look at it, but if you look a little bit further, there's the rainbow and there's the reflection. And it's it's how you look at it. There was the blackberries, obviously that was work, but that's just a little peekaboo, a little peek of the changing seasons, the new life. I had my birthday this month, and the orchid that I was given as a gift is just out in full bloom, and a great reminder. We even acquired a new treasure, a cast iron stand, the birthday gift. And I was working on the business and doing the videoing and whatever else, but just being. This is my new working space, inside in this little cozy corner, and outside on the couch, working on the Home and Garden Network and planning our first event. I did a bit of organizing and decor, the box project. It's not much, but it made a big difference, because we could actually get rid of the box that had the dishes in it, and you can actually get a dish now. And it just kind of feels like home. We made some new friends. The voles, they help with the holes and the water management. And you're always finding out where they are every morning. They're new. But the geese for sure is new, and the snow geese and the geese in the field, they're noisy, but that's new for us. This was a spectacular display of snow geese just right at the end of the driveway there. The eagles are new friends that land in the tree, and we hear them almost every morning. The herons, they're squawking there too, but the eagles, they make that beautiful noise. And this little cat we caught, actually the neighbors caught him, but Joe found him sitting on an orange chair, and he was a stray or dropped off or something, but our tenants have taken him in and are feeding him. And new friend, I guess. Frogs everywhere. Love the frogs. You're always looking for the frogs. We had our first fire this month, and we even got to enjoy it with some new friends. We're meeting some neighbors, we're meeting some friends, and our old friends. I've been walking the dike with my dear friend in the Okanagan. She's walking the salmon trail that I walked so many times, and I'm walking the dike, and we're having our conversation by phone, just keeping in touch and those connections. And so, well, it's not glamorous by any stretch of the imagination, our outdoor shower. It's a bit chilly out there, um, and certainly not complete. Our composting toilet, my fireplace, which is really the radiant heater, and the snuggle socks. It's home, and it's where family is now. And it is a new season, and it is a new life. And as we move from fall into winter, and we're watching this beautiful baby, as hopefully this baby.
Oh,
He likes to be held like that, and so he's with his daddy, and he's just smelling and touching the flowers. And what a beautiful, beautiful reminder to stop and treasure those moments, because all around us there's always something beautiful to see. Here he is in his tacky tourist outfit, and yes, because there's always something good, and really it is all good all the time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing so that you get the notifications, for sharing our videos, and sharing this journey with us. And we'll see you next time.